Well, from the parliament to the streets, Congress leaders, and this includes Rahul Gandhi, remember, have led a fierce political offensive against the Special Intensive Revision Exercise, or the SIR exercise, alleging that the process was designed to unfairly delete genuine voters and disproportionately impact the Dalit, the tribal, the minority communities. Well, the party has repeatedly described SIR as a threat to democratic rights, even staging protests inside the parliament against it. But now a significant political twist is emerging from one of Congress's own ruled states. In Karnataka, the Congress Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar has issued a strong advisory linking the SIR exercise directly with access to government benefits, while urging citizens to ensure that their names remain on the electoral rolls. The Chief Minister has warned that losing voting rights could also mean losing welfare benefits. In fact, he goes on to say, I'm going to quote him here, that the right to vote is the right to live. Chief Minister DKS has further stated that similar steps are now being taken elsewhere as well, referencing to actions in states such as West Bengal, where ration beneficiary lists are reportedly being verified and cleaned based on SIR-linked records. And now what really makes the politically significant is this, that Karnataka becomes the first state to actually explicitly link SIR-driven electoral roll status with state welfare benefits. Essentially, if your name's not there on the SIR, you don't get any state benefits. There is no such rule in any other state. It will be the first if it actually is implemented in the state of Karnataka. Or is this mere fear-mongering? Listen into the Chief Minister himself.
ಯಾರು ಮತದಾನದ ಹಕ್ಕನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಮತದಾನ ಹಕ್ಕು ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೇನಾದರೂ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಸಿಕ್ಕುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಬೇಕು. ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಗಾಲ್ ಫುಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ಆದೇಶ ನನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಸಂವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಕ್ಕಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಆದೇಶ ಇದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಲಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಇಲಿಜಿಬಲ್ PDS ಬೆನಿಫಿಷರೀಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಔಟ್ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಇನ್ಸೆಂಟಿವ್ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಗಾಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆದೇಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Well, in fact, let me go across to Akshara, who's joining us from Bengaluru. Akshara, you must explain to us, because this is quite unprecedented. We've never had a time when you had the Chief Minister saying that if your name is not in the SIR voter list, then you will not get any of the state benefits. Is this a precedent which is being set by D.K. Shivakumar at a time when his party is vociferously against the entire SIR process in the first place?
Well, if you take a look at the statement being made by the Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar, he also had an order copy from the West Bengal government. He states that in West Bengal there has been a similar incident that has taken place, and the individuals who had lost their voting rights also were ineligible to avail a particular PDS scheme under which the ration was provided. He in fact showed that particular order stating that in West Bengal such incident has taken place. Those individuals who have lost this voter ID voting rights, they also were not unable to avail all the government schemes. So, citing this particular incident, yesterday he also has further stated that in Karnataka as well, SIR is set to begin today. So, if you're not able to retain your voting rights, you'll also not be able to avail not just the state government schemes, but also the central government schemes. That's the statement coming in from the Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar. We also tried to speak to few officials. They're also stating that for administrative purposes, that is required, is what the word coming in from few of the officials. And D.K. Shivakumar has also further explained, stating that there is a link between the voting rights on the schemes that have been provided by the state government and the central government. There will be information pertaining to the residents as well, which will be present at the particular electoral roll and the voting ID. So that's what the connection is, what the reasoning coming in from the Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar. But we are yet to get the complete details how this losing out on voting rights and the voting ID will be affected and availing the schemes of the central government and the state government, and further explanation is awaited from the government regarding this matter.
Shara, in fact, do stay on with us. Let's explain to our viewers, before we get into the political storm, let's tell you how this is going to be a breakup as to what actually is happening on the ground in Karnataka as well. What is this SIR process which has started in Karnataka? Remember, today is going to be the first day of the SIR enumeration process beginning. In this, there are going to be a whole of 68,000 officials who are going to be working on it. In fact, there are going to be 59,050 booth level officers who've been deployed to cover this entire process. In fact, there'll be 5.5 crore electors who are going to be part of this process, and they are going to be covering a whole of 1.8 crore households instead. How are they going to do that? They are going to do door-to-door verification, which is going to be carried out by the SIR teams in order to ensure that no deserving voter is left out. Of course, there is a lot of opposition which the Congress party as well as the other opposition parties have also leveled against what they are calling the vote chori. But let's tell you how the government has also now rolled out both online as well as the offline access points to make the process more accessible for citizens across urban and rural regions. In fact, let's tell you about that. You have the Seva Sindhu portal which has been started, which is in order to apply online. Also in Karnataka, there are other such instances where they are ensuring that there's going to be 24/7 access which is going to be given to the government services and welfare schemes in a single digit window. For offline mode, there are going to be multiple service centers as well. We are listing them here, which have been activated across the entire state. You also have the Atal Janasnehi Kendras, which are going to be providing over 40 services, and this will include, this is the second one that we are pointing for you here on our screens, 40 services which are going to include caste income residence certificates as well. In Bengaluru, you have Bengaluru One centers which are going to continue handling the utility payments as well as the government certifications. So this Bengaluru One continues to remain online, while there is also Karnataka One centers which extends similar services across all the districts. Well, at the rural level, you have this one here, the last one there on your screens, Grama One Center. The Grama One Center are going to be serving as village-based facilities, single window facilities which are going to be aimed at bringing these services closer to the citizens of Karnataka. In fact, together, these systems combine digital as well as physical access to ensure that there is going to be a smoother implementation on the ground as well. Now, that is very, very important to ensure that every deserving voter, every voter and citizen of India gets his vote registered in this list by being part of the SIR process. Now, the opposition INDI bloc, meanwhile, has put up a united front against SIR. As I was telling you earlier, this after a key meeting which was held on the 8th of June, you have leaders from 21 political parties and one independent MP who attended the meeting, where concerns were raised over the entire SIR process and its implementation which had happened and the impact that it allegedly had on the electoral rolls and the elections which have happened as well as the ones which are coming up. In fact, after detailed discussion of the opposition parties, there was a collective decision which was taken to move forward with a joint representation to the Chief Justice of India. In this, the opposition parties have flagged their objections to the entire exercise following the initial meeting. The move has gained wider support, with 23 parties and one independent MP now signing on to that letter that is set to be submitted to the Chief Justice of India. In fact, the opposition also says that this is going to be a coordinated effort to raise institutional concerns over the process. However, on one hand, of course, you have the Congress government itself linking its own guarantee schemes to the SIR, but you have 23 opposition parties, including the Congress, which has now opposed the SIR, which is why you have the BJP now saying that this is hypocrisy. Listen in.
SIR बहाना है, अपने आप को हार से बचाना है, इसलिए इलेक्शन कमीशन पर निशाना है। SIR पर जो कांग्रेस और विपक्षी दलों का दोहरा रवैया है, अब वो पीक हिपोक्रेसी की ओर बढ़ चुका है। लेटर लिखकर कह रहे चीजों से कि SIR बहुत खराब है। भाई, SIR केरलम और तमिलनाडु में हो और आप जीते तब SIR संस्कारी, और जब SIR बंगाल में और आप हारे तो संस्कारी नहीं, वहां पे SIR भ्रष्टाचारी, दुराचारी। ये दोहरे रवैये कैसे हो सकते हैं? ये वही पार्टियां हैं जो अपनी हार का ठिकरा किसी और पर डालना चाहती है, सच का सामना नहीं करना चाहती।
देखिए, शिवकुमार कर्नाटका के चीफ मिनिस्टर ने कहा है कि कुछ लोग जिनको बेनिफिट चाहिए उनको इंश्योर करना होगा एसआईआर में उनका नाम आए, क्योंकि एसआईआर एक्सेस कर्नाटका में शुरू हो गई है। आपको लगता है कहीं कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन है सेंटर के स्टैंड में और स्टेट के स्टैंड में?
देखिए, ये कंफ्यूजन के कबाड़ खाने में कैद ये जो कुनबा है, इसको ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि किस चीज का ये विरोध करें और किस चीज का वो समर्थन करें। अभी एसआईआर को लेकर के ये विरोध कर रहे थे, एसआईआर पर जो है वो सवाल और बवाल कर रहे थे। अब कह रहे हैं जी एसआईआर तो में जो है वो सबको पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहिए। तो पहले ये खुद तय कर लें कि ये चाहते।
Well, let me go across to Meghna, as you had the BJP asking, ये खुद पहले तय करते कि चाहते क्या है? What is going to be the united fight back of the Congress party of in case it is at the central level opposing the SIR at the state level in Karnataka? They are saying their guarantee scheme is also going to be linked to the SIR process.
The purpose of this letter is not just about the election commission's complaint to the Supreme Court or to the Chief Justice of India, but it is also to show the unity of the India bloc parties, as it has been mentioned in that particular tweet which was being done by the Congress General Secretary Jairam Ramesh, that this letter is now being signed by 23 political parties and one independent member of parliament, and it is very interesting that even the DMK as well as the Aam Aadmi Party have also signed this particular letter, which is being written to the Chief Justice of India against the Election Commission of India's SIR exercise, because we have seen in the past as well that how the opposition is continuously criticizing the Election Commission of India's move, stating that this entire exercise is being conducted only to help the BJP in those states where the elections are coming in. On the other side, they are also stating that the Election Commission of India is working at the behest of the BJP, and that is the only reason why those people who are actually the voters of the opposition parties, those names are being removed from the official voter list. That is the complaint which they have done in the state of Bihar as well as in Bengal as well. In fact, when the assembly election results have come out for the state of West Bengal, the entire opposition had criticized the Election Commission of India, stating that it is only because of this SIR exercise which was being conducted in that particular state, because of which now the BJP is being able to form the government. But the same kind of attack is also coming in from the BJP side as well, that when this SIR was being conducted in the states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu, where the opposition was able to form the government, then they don't have any kind of problem. But when it comes to the BJP, then they start blaming the Election Commission of India. So that is clearly an excuse which the opposition parties are making, is the allegation which the BJP is putting upon the opposition parties here.
Well, absolutely, which is why we have this massive war of words as well. But after all, let's remind our viewers how earlier too, DK Shivakumar, the current chief minister, had questioned the credibility of the entire SIR process. But now, by linking it to benefits directly under his own sarkar, the latest remarks have sparked off a key question. Does this reflect a renewed trust in the process of SIR by the Congress chief minister? Let's remind you. Remember, on 26th of May 2026, this is what was said, that this is what DK Shivakumar had said, that the Congress will ensure that no one loses their voting rights. Now he says that if you don't have SIR, then you will not even get the guarantee schemes. DK Shivakumar had also said that the SIR exercise is harmful to the poor voters. He had on 15th of May also said that the SIR is going to be cutting the SC, the scheduled caste, the backward class as well as the minority votes as well. DK Shivakumar had earlier also said that it is going to be a big risk to democratic participation if there is SIR in the state of Karnataka. But today, instead of saying we oppose SIR, he has actually linked SIR to the key guarantee schemes in Karnataka. So essentially, if someone's name does not come in the SIR voter list, then that person will not be eligible for any of the state schemes as well under DK Shivakumar's guarantee schemes. So the Congress has consistently, remember, opposed the SIR process in the past. As I was just telling you earlier too, you had several of the senior Congress leaders who had staged protests and questioned the exercise. Here's a look at the party's repeated objections to SIR. And we are going to ask you why now that seems to have suddenly changed. Remember, it was Rahul Gandhi who had said that SIR excludes the marginalized sections. Moving on, you had Rahul Gandhi saying SIR process is an imposed atrocity. Then there were other statements as well, such as that, which is going to come in the next one, there on your screens. Pawan Khera, who had said SIR is malicious, it is mischievous, exercise. So these are quotes coming in from the Congress. He said it leads to large-scale voter disenfranchisement as well. Then you had Jairam Ramesh of the Congress saying that democracy has survived a brutal assault by the entire process of SIR being implemented. Then you had Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress chief, who had said SIR draft shows that there is deliberate exclusion which is happening under SIR. Which is why there are people who are asking, if it is deliberate exclusion, why is the Congress going to now deliberately also exclude people from their own guarantee schemes if their names are not there in the SIR list? In fact, let's remind you how Rahul Gandhi earlier had vociferously called SIR as vote chori.
मैं आपको इस स्टेज से कह रहा हूं कि पूरे हिंदुस्तान में विधानसभा के चुनाव, लोकसभा के चुनाव चोरी किए जा रहे हैं और इनकी आखिरी साजिश यह है कि बिहार में एसआईआर करके नए वोटरों को जोड़कर, वोटरों को काटकर ये बिहार का चुनाव चोरी करें। और मैं और हम सब स्टेज से आपको कहने आए हैं कि हम इन्हें ये चुनाव चोरी नहीं करने देंगे।
Well, that is going to be one of our top focus stories. What BJP is calling the hypocrisy. You have the Congress saying SIR is indeed vote chori, and the vociferous protests against it continue. But with that, from the state of Karnataka, let's go across to Tamil Nadu, where politics has again erupted into a fresh political showdown after another AIADMK MLA quit the party and jumped the ship to the ruling TVK. This time it is former Transport Minister C. Vijaya Bhaskar's exit which has marked the 6th AIADMK MLA's resignation since the Tamil Nadu polls. This has triggered off allegations that Vijaya's party is expanding its strength by attracting leaders from opposition ranks because, remember, he is short of the majority mark. Well, the move has given fresh ammunition to the DMK with Udayanidhi Stalin accusing the Chief Minister Vijay-led TVK government of indulging in what he calls washing machine politics. Well, the BJP too has attacked the TVK, alleging that Vijay is attempting to increase his numbers by horse trading, claiming that the exercise is aimed at reaching the majority mark, which Vijay otherwise does not have by himself. It is only with the support of Congress and other parties that he managed to hit the majority mark. Meanwhile, as AIADMK continues to lose MLAs, there's fresh trouble which is brewing within the party ranks. Senior leaders, and this includes SP Velumani. Remember, he was one of the MLAs who said that AIADMK must ally themselves with Vijay and the TVK. But other than Velumani, there are also others like Natham Vishwanathan, who are reportedly very unhappy with the new posts which have been assigned to them by EPS. They are saying that the posts given to them are powerless positions. Reports also said that the disgruntled leaders have now decided not to accept the new responsibilities given to them by EPS. They are likely to send a joint letter directly to the AIADMK General Secretary, Edapadi Palanisamy, and adding to the growing internal turmoil within the opposition party. Meanwhile, the resignation of the AIADMK MLAs has triggered off a fresh political reaction in Tamil Nadu. You have the VCK chief, Thiruvananthapuram, who has in fact questioned the developments, saying that the resignations are not healthy for the state's politics or for democracy. He's in fact suggested that the issue should not be viewed merely as an internal matter within the AIADMK.
இது தமிழ்நாடு அரசியலுக்கு ஆரோக்கியமானதல்ல. என்ன பின்னணியில் அவர்கள் இதை செய்கிறார்கள் என்பது தெரியாது. இது அதிமுகவுடைய உட்கட்சி விவகாரமாகவும் கடந்து செல்ல முடியவில்லை. மக்களால் தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டவர்கள் திடீரென பதவி விலகும் சூழல் ஜனநாயகத்திற்கு உகந்ததல்ல.
Well, let me go across to Dharani, who's joining us live from Chennai. Well, Dharani, you must explain to us, is this right, which some of the other opposition parties are now saying that Vijay, because he doesn't have the majority numbers, is trying to shore up his numbers, keep the dependence of parties such as Congress by poaching and horse trading. Is that true?
Well, TVK is in fact, refuting all these allegations of poaching and horse trading. TVK's Minister Adhav Arjuna has time and again reiterated that the TVK is not inviting leaders from other parties to join, their party. In fact, these leaders who have quit from their MLA posts and who are joining TVK, they are doing it out of their own willingness. We are not inviting anybody to come join us, is what Adhav Arjuna is telling. And if we look at the MLA count, all the MLAs who have quit, their posts and joined TVK in recent times, they're all from only one political party, that is the AIADMK. And it is true that many leaders in AIADMK, they are upset with the leadership of Edapadi K. Palaniswamy. In fact, those who are still part of the AIADMK, the existing leaders of AIADMK, many of them are upset with the party's leadership. This includes leaders like SP Velumani, Thangamani, etc. In fact, remember, just a month back, we saw almost 25 to 28 leaders. They were acting as a rebel faction within the AIADMK itself, and they questioned Edapadi Palaniswamy's leadership capabilities, and they told that there's no internal democracy in AIADMK. So, at the moment, it looks like the AIADMK is facing an existential crisis, and it remains to be seen how Edapadi Palaniswamy is going to navigate this challenge and how he is going to instill confidence and trust in his party's cadre and functionaries at such a tough time.
So essentially, is it really about Vijay shoring up his numbers, something that the TVK has denied, or is it really about AIADMK seeing perhaps one of its biggest existential crises since the death of J.J. Lalita? We'll have to wait and see. Thank you so much, Dharni, for joining us. Well, with that, we are going to be wrapping up, setting the agenda. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow, 12 noon, right here on Timestamp.